Members of the United Campus Workers of Kentucky gathered at Whitehall, located behind UK President Eli Capelouto's office. They have demands for the school. They want the university to establish a $15 an hour minimum wage for undergraduate student workers.
We're marching today for fair treatment and a living wage. Right now on campus, students are making as little as $8.50 an hour in a city where the cost of living is $16 to $17.
They also want access to sick leave and HR protections. They have a petition to deliver to the university president with these demands and roughly 800 signatures. William Taylor works in an on-campus lab researching soil samples where he says he makes $13 an hour. He says at times he'll have to go to the campus food pantry to make ends meet. He could work off campus for more money, but says on-campus work gives him career work experience.
Right now I have to have support from my family in order to do that and not to have to work up to 3 jobs to afford my apartment. And I want that experience, and that shouldn't be a luxury for people.
UK spokesperson Jay Blanton gave WKYT a written response saying, quote, student employees are integral to the university and through their roles, they gain valuable work experience and financial support while earning their degree. It goes on to say, at the same time, we are always exploring new ways to improve the student experience.
I think that if we are such an integral part, we should be shown that in more ways than just experience. I think that we should be shown that monetarily.
The students ended the campus march at President Capelouto's office.
We have had a student petition with 822 signatures, and we are dropping it off for Dr. Capelouto to look at. We're trying to get $15 minimum wage for all undergraduate workers, no exceptions.
These undergrad students feel like they've won a small victory, but there's more work ahead. On UK's campus, Garrett Weimer, WKYT.